Alright, hello and welcome to this weather update. It is just after midnight on February 25th, 2019, and I want to do this weather update because we are experiencing very high winds across the area. We're under a high wind warning through tomorrow, and this is the current observation at Farmingdale. A west wind at 30, gusting to 39. And if we go and we look at some of the other past observations, we had a gust up to 38, 39. So these winds are really picking up, and they're going to be with us right through tomorrow. And I want to look at a couple of other observations out there. Let's take a look at West Hampton as well. Very strong winds, and this is going to be the main concern here. West 15, gusting 29. That's not too bad, but let's go and look at New Jersey here. The winds are actually going to get worse into tomorrow morning. I'm going to take a look at that in a moment. So 43 and west wind at 17, gusting 20, but the winds are going to pick up with that high wind warning in effect. And the reason for that is we have a storm pulling away here, and it should be. Oh, I don't have the model up. Hold on, I gotta put that up there. Show you the models. Show you the storm here. So here it is. This is a very intense area of low pressure system. Very intense. As you can see how tightly packed the isobars are, and this whole area is experiencing high winds because of those tightly packed isobars. And this is going to keep the winds. You can see how tight those isobars are over us tomorrow. This is quite a storm this has been. And then the high pressure builds in, and I'm just going to look at the long range, see if we have any snow chances, and it does not look like we do. This is the 0Z run. I'm just curious. That might be one there, but we may get through the whole winter without any snow, which is really crazy. So again, we've got this high wind warning in effect. You can see here the high winds, and we're going to actually go and take a look at some of the forecasted winds that are going to be over us right now. This just does a wind speed, so we'll actually look and see. You can see some of these high wind speed numbers across the area. Greens has us now the sustained wind around 30. So the gusts. And look not that far offshore, we have sustained winds in the 40s. We have some tropical storm force winds across our area for late tonight into tomorrow, and it's going to continue. It's going to be bad, and it's already causing power outages. If we look at Long Island, you'll see we have a sprinkling of power outages, and this number is certainly going to grow. They'll probably, I would estimate, I wouldn't be surprised if possibly up to 10 to 30,000 people lose power over Long Island tomorrow at some point because of these high winds. Again, we could have gusts very high up there. JCP&L has some outages in the northern part. Here is a look at the satellite. So we do have mostly clear skies. That's the good thing. But we have these extremely high winds that are going on. And we'll look at the Earth Knoll School site. We'll look at the winds too, actually, on this as well. Before I show you the winds, I want to show you that tongue of warm water is still there, folks. And you look at all across the globe, look at all these hot oceans that we have all over. The oceans are above normal due to climate change. Look at this. I mean, you have very high anomalies over here, too, of ocean water being extremely warm. And this is what brings the fuel to these storms, is all this warm water that we're dealing with. And this is all due to climate change, and it's only going to get worse. We're going to have bigger and more severe storms because of it. So I'm going to shift this over to the air, and we're going to look at the wind. All right, and just to visualize what's going on across the area here. So you can look at this. I'll get rid of this here for you, just to visualize the wind here. I'm going to visualize it for you. I'll look at windy.com too as well. You can look at all this wind from this huge storm here, and the concern is this storm's also going to bring a lot of warm air to the Arctic, which is not good for the ice as well. So very strong winds will be across our area. So let me look at windy. Let me show you this, because this is a really big concern here. Windy.com. We're going to look at that and see if this is another site that we can use to track the wind here as well. So you can see again these high winds, and they're all actually only going to get worse because this is alright. So we're going to actually move this up. Let's move this to the morning rush. So 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, we got some really high winds here across the area here. So let's see if it'll actually give me a number. It won't actually give me a number. But you can see these really high winds over here. The oranges, particularly very high winds. Oh yeah, here we go. West at 21 knots. For New York City, these are sustained. I don't think. Oh yeah, wind. Let's go to wind gusts because this is where it really comes. This is where it's going to be bad. So look at these wind gusts: 40-knot wind gusts, 38-knot wind gusts. New Jersey is going to have 40-knot wind gusts. So very, very strong winds across the area will cause problems. Probably problems on the trains, problems with power, and you're going to have to allow extra time to travel tomorrow because of these high winds. That is for sure. So again, going back to the GFS model, and we can take a look at the temperatures that will come along with these winds. It's going to get colder. It'll be in the mid-30s, but then it drops tomorrow night into the 20s. The winds still going to have some pretty strong wind chills, so it will be getting colder this week. As you can see, I've talked about the long range. I don't really want to talk too much about the long range in this. I just want to talk about the winds. Because I'm quite concerned about these high winds. That's why I decided to do another weather update, because these winds are picking up rather steadily, and that's why we have this high wind warning in effect. It's not something you see often in our area as a high wind warning. It's not, sometimes you'll see a wind advisory, but you won't see a high wind warning. But we have a high wind warning. That's the orange shading all over our area because of these high winds. So, all I can tell you is be careful out there. There are going to be power problems for sure. And like I said, they're forecasting wind gusts of 60 miles an hour in certain parts of our area. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So I'll just go over this again. Damaging winds tonight into Monday, and this is again west winds 25 to 30s with gusts up to 65. So now they've raised. The winds could gust up to 65 miles an hour. That's just shy of hurricane force. So very, very windy conditions will be experienced across our area tonight, this morning, and through much of tomorrow. So again, exercise caution. I'll give yourself plenty of extra time to travel. And if you are taking the Long Island Railroad, I would really urge you to take the Babylon branch because they have the metal poles there. And if they don't like you parking there, well, it's too bad, because there's a good chance that at some point tomorrow the main line and some other areas of the railroad may be suspended due to power outages and down poles and stuff like that. You got to have metal. It's the only thing that's going to be able to withstand these kind of winds. Wood will not. Anyway, that's going to do it with this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.